a holiday wish list for a soccer football fan, whatever you want to call it. Here, I got 10 wishes, none of them in any type of order except for number 1. Think of it as like a 2.5 Mount Rushmore, so to speak, for soccer wishes. And since it's the holiday season, since it's the holiday spirit, I'm going to put the closest thing I have to a Santa stocking cap on. I'm throwing on the Browns palm hat for this one. The NAFTA Santa Claus, John Claus, whatever you want to call me, coming straight to you. Let's get into our 10 wishes for the podcast for soccer moving forward here in this holiday season. Number 10. Wish number 10. Competitive league title races. You know what we're talking about. Leverkusen in Germany, Girona in Spain, Nice? Question mark? In France, they only have scored 19 goals, only given up 9, but they're I think 5 points back of PSG currently. We're yearning for it. I think that we're going to have a decent race in the Prem. Looks like there's 4 teams that have separated themselves. We're going to see if Aston Villa can stick around. But the other leagues, especially in Germany, we want to be able to see a tight race. Italy looks like it's a 2-horser. It looks like you're going to have Juventus and you're going to have Inter going after that one this season. But they've had a bevy of different champions over the past 3 or 4 or 5 years. So that one's been a little bit different. But man, in Germany, who can knock Bayern off their perch? Is it Leverkusen? Is it Jabby? Can Girona hang on? I feel like that La Liga season is just as grueling and just as long as the Prem because you got the Copa del Rey and everything. And hopefully Nice can hold on. So number 10, more competitive league title races. Number 9. Wish number 9 from the NAFTAA Podcast boys is one that you're not going to be shocked by. We talk about it a lot. I think we're yelling into a void at this point because it's not going to happen and we know it, but we're going to throw it out there anyway. Berhalter out. Look, there is way too much talent on this team for them to look like they did the last international break. It may be stupid to get a new manager in at this point, obviously, with Kappa. If we were going to do that when they fired him the first time, before they rehired him, would have been the right time to do that. But there's too many big games coming up. We're hosting a World Cup. This team is too talented to look like they did against Trinidad and Tobago, both games, to be quite honest with you. And I think it's just time to get some new thoughts, new ideas, new tactics, new ways to look at things and solve problems with this Team USA team. We're big Berhalter out. That is our wish number 9. Number 8. It's an easy one. We already do it in some games. Where the hell is auto offsides and why is it not in the Prem? Watching the World Cup or watching, I think it was the Euros, whatever it was that had the auto offsides, just made things so much easier. I don't know why we don't do that here in the Premier League. I think it would save a lot of grief and a lot of time for the referees. Obviously, this season with the Liverpool Tottenham game, we already had a debauchery, a just awful call with that offsides. Auto offsides, let's bring it in. I don't think this will be hard, but as we've found out, the teams have to, vote on it. And I don't know why any team wouldn't want that. Bring auto offsides in. I think that is one thing that we as a fan community reaching across the aisle to the referees, which I'm going to get into a little bit later, trust, we can really get done and it'll actually make a big impact on the Premier League for sure. Number 7. Wish number 7 from the NAFTAA Podcast. It's going to be kind of painting with a broad brush, but we're getting to host Copa America. And honestly, we just want it to be amazing. We are actually kind of, spoiled with how much good football, good soccer is around the United States. It's actually kind of crazy how we're still not that great. But to be able to invite the South American teams up to compete with us and Mexico and, Canada making a push, although they are broke. Costa Rica, Panama, who's been crushing it as of late. Like, to have this entire hemisphere be focused on one title is pretty awesome. I actually hope that there is a way that we can kind of be in Copa America moving forward. I think for the U.S. men's national team, that is something that will help development. It will help us become better at football. It will attract more people to the sport. And it probably starts with us hosting this. I know we've hosted one in the past, but if we can have an amazing summer this summer, and not just the U.S. men's national team play on the field, but honestly just host a good tournament. Have it catch the eyeballs. As much as we wanted to hate on Qatar for what Qatar stood for and whatever, it was an amazing World Cup, and I think people forgot about that. So, like, if you can combine this Copa America, amazing product on the field, I think that this could be a turning point for us as a federation, for us as a team moving forward, and attract a lot more talent in there. So, number 7, we just won an amazing Copa America. Not too much to ask for. Number 6, this is going to be a personal one for me. I think Michael would co-sign this too, though. And it'll be a bit of a niche wish here. I want Umbro and Kappa to design all kits. I know that's impossible. I know we live in a world where Nike and Adidas kind of take over. But if you look at the Premier League with Umbro, and then if you look at every other league, France, Spain, I don't think Germany really has or Kappa has a foothold in Germany, but Kappa crushes it. They saute and they flambe every fucking jersey. It looks sick. I am sick, tired, over it with the Nike templates. That's all Nike does now. It's all templated. It all looks the same. Trust me, when City had Nike, it was a little bit better. Now we got Puma. Oh my God. The jerseys that we've made our team wear over the past 4 or 5 years, how long it's been, the Paisley kit, the gradient Sex on the Beach kit that looks ridiculous. I actually kind of like the black kit that had like the different Manchester stuff on it. You get one. The blue one's been decent, but like that third kit has always been kind of whack with Puma. The kit that just said Man City on the front, weird. Look, if you look at the best dressed team in any league, it's usually an Umbro team. It's usually a Kappa team. To be honest, Adidas has been kind of holding it down with some of the heritage stuff they've been doing. Umbro and Kappa design all kits from here on out. Like, just Nike, basketball, you got it. Football, you got it. Baseball, you got it. Go off, Kings. I just want to see it. Just want to see Umbro and Kappa all kits. That's number 6. Number 5, a Europa League winner or a deep Champions League run from a team that's not in the Power 5 different countries, that being England, France, Germany, Spain, Italy. I want to see a deep run from Porto, maybe. I don't know. I hope they don't play City, but I want to see a deep run from a team from Portugal, PSV, a team from the Netherlands, a Belgian team. I want to see a smaller confederation, a smaller league team win the Europa League or make a big run in the Champions League. I think that it's so much more fun when there's a team like that in there. Call it like the mid-major effect, the Gonzaga effect, when you have a team that you know is good, but they shouldn't be beating the Milans or the Real Madrids or the Bayerns of the world, and they're pulling it off. I want to see that. Conference League, I could give a shit less. Let's be honest here. No one cares. Shout out to West Ham. Good job. Good effort. But no one gave a shit, to be quite frank. Europa League title, deep run in the Champions League. Give me a team from Portugal. Give me a team from the Netherlands. Give me a team from Belgium. I'm probably forgetting another one. A Turkish team. Give me a Galatasaray winning the Europa League. I think they dropped down into. Like, give me one of those. I think that'd be super exciting. That's number 5. Number 4, and this is a huge one, and this might be controversial, and I'm not sure if my pod mates will agree with me on this, because I want to try to transfer hires too. I don't want to lose certain people. Watching the limited amount of the MLS I did this season, the one thing that stood out more than anything wasn't the athleticism, wasn't the product on the field. You know what it was? It was the ability for Apple TV to broadcast a match to me without any buffering or interruptions. And before you start yelling into your headphones and your phone about my internet, where I watch these games is quite literally right above my router, right above where our internet starts from. So I know it wasn't the internet, right? Apple TV, the crispness of the picture, the ability to not have it buffer, the ability to just have a solid ass broadcast every time was kind of amazing. And you know what? I think it's time for Peacock to get out of the way, to move a little bit. I want Apple TV to bid on the Premier League. I want that to be the destination to watch the Premier League. I think that what they were able to do with the MLS was amazing. You could watch any game you wanted. I think it's even easier with the Premier League where you only have 20 teams. Apple TV, I'm sure you're thinking about it. I don't know when the contract's up. It's probably 10 years or something. But by God, Peacock is awful. The amount of interruptions, the amount of disruptions, the amount of buffering that goes into watching fucking Sheffield United versus Brentford is insane. Now, I acknowledge this at the front end. I don't want to lose Becky Lowe. I could do without Tim Howard, quite frankly. I don't find him insightful at all. I don't want to lose Becky Lowe. The other guys are decent. But let's take the whole package of the broadcasting from Peacock and let's drop it into the Apple TV ability to just not have any interruptions. That's number 4. Number 3. I'm going to be screaming into a void on this one. I know everyone on the pod agrees with this. I think most of the soccering, footballing community agrees with this. Can FIFA and UEFA stop just effing things up? Stop adding games. Stop changing formats. Stop expanding things. I sat and watched that FIFA Club World Cup game yesterday. It was terrible. It was awful. We're in the middle of Saudi Arabia. It's a 20% full stadium. It was pathetic, and it just stinks. And the fact that we're adding like 35 more teams to this tournament next year, and it's going to be played in the summer. And let me give you a hint. Nothing wrong with it in some countries. This is going to be played in the Middle East in the summer just because they're going to bid on it and they're going to give the most amount of money. It's just a mess. The FIFA Club World Cup, which doesn't even have a sick name, it's just a mess. The expansion into the Champions League and what's going on there, it is fully designed so that the best teams move on more often. And by best teams, I mean the most prestigious teams. Having it in that league format staggers the... it gives you better games for sure. I mean, I think instead of just having one team in your group that is also good, you're going to have multiples. But it gives smaller teams less of a chance to make or put a run together, make an upset, get second in a group, maybe top a group. I don't hate it. I know Nick's not a big fan of it. I don't hate it, but I don't think you had anything wrong with what we were doing. And they're going to argue that they're getting to add more teams by doing the league format instead. Fine, whatever. But there's really good situations and good setups right now. We don't need to expand. I know at the end of the day, it's a dollar and cents thing, and we're just little people, and we can't make these big decisions because of the dollar and cents of it. But dude, it's just fine. Like, things are allowed to just be good. They don't have to be amazing. They don't have to be great all the time. They can be good. We have good shit right now. It's not bad. So stop effing things up. I actually threw this in here more for Nick. I don't think I was going to bring this up. But all right. Number 2 on the wish list. It's going to be slightly slighted to America. Women's World Cup in the U.S. 2027. We need it. We want it. We got to have it. We got Copa America coming. FIFA Club World Cup is in the summer. It's going to be in the US as well. I just harped on that. But if you're bringing soccer here, I'm going to watch it. We got the World Cup men's in 2026. 2027 Women's World Cup. I think this would be a great thing to happen, especially for the U.S. women's national team, where we saw that they fell behind a decent amount against the world in this last World Cup. I think that the hiring of their new coach, it's going to rejuvenate them. I think having this World Cup here would be incredible. And I think that you've been seeing it, especially in Europe, but even here in the U.S., the boom of women's soccer, women's football, and how many people are going to games, how many people are buying tickets. The Gotham, shout out to my home now, New York. It's in New Jersey, I think, but New York, New Jersey, Brooklyn, whatever you want to call it. They won the NWSL this season, and I watched it. I did watch it from a plane, but like never before in my life outside of a World Cup did I ever watch a women's soccer game. It's not because of any views I have. It's just like never on. And now it's on. Now it's on TV. You can see it. You can watch it. And I think it's growing in such a way that it would be incredible to have the Women's World Cup here. That is number 2. Number 1. Like I said, none of these in any type of order except for number 1. Number 1 is huge. We mentioned VAR in the past, or not VAR, but we mentioned the automated offsides. It's getting into the refereeing that is going on. Number 1 is abolish PGMOL. I'm asking for anarchy, and I don't really know what I want. That'll make Nick laugh. But I just know I don't want what I have. I just know there's something better out there. I think an interesting point here is like this season, the refereeing has been so atrocious and so bad at such a level that we may actually get some changes. Hopefully. I'm hoping that the momentum of them sucking so bad is actually going to get us some changes and some updates and some new perspective into refereeing so that the product on the field there as well can be better. I know Rebecca Welch is going to be the first Premier League referee. I believe it's the Fulham game on the 23rd, Fulham-Burnley, I believe. Why did that take so long? 1. And 2, let me tell you, if we've only had dudes doing this whole time, they've been awful. They've been terrible. Like, even if you're sexist and you don't want women to referee for you, you can't argue that anything out there is better than what we have. If you want to throw Air Bud out there as a dog referee, it's going to be better than some of the shit that we've seen. Some of the calls that have happened. I think we need to open up the ability to referee to anyone who wants to do it, because it is a thankless job. It is a job where you're going to be criticized and you're going to be scrutinized. And if someone wants to do that, we need to open that up. And we need to, again, I'm kind of talking about how I view teachers. We need to make it a job that people kind of want to go into to be part of football, to be part of soccer. We got to probably pay them better. I don't know what they're paid. Should have done some research there. But like, we just need to make it more attractive, because you're not getting good talent. You're not, like, as much as we want to joke about Man United on this pod, the Delo red card was atrocious. It made no sense. It was so stupid. The Tottenham Liverpool game, like I mentioned earlier, awful call. How does that even happen? And then I'll throw my bias in here. Not being able to play continuation. There's no guarantee Grealish is going to score that goal. Let's be quite frank with ourselves here. But like, to not have the opportunity, it's inexcusable. So abolish PGMOL. I don't know if that's even really what I want to do, but like, let's get more Rebecca Welches. Let's get more people involved. Let's get more people refereeing. Let's get better referees in there. Let's have some consequences if you totally screw up. And let's not have them shy away from their own controversies if they are screwing up. Let's have them answer for it. I think it just needs a total overhaul, a total rehaul. I know I'm not the only one thinking that. I know it's a pretty stereotypical wish. But get PGMOL out here, because Dylan's had more apologies for his Wolves team this season than any one man should have to listen to an apology for their team. PGMOL out. NAFTA, wish list done and dusted. Let's get into the game of the week. Arsenal, Liverpool.